Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing real good, and as I said, it is an honor to have you on the show, and thank you for taking time doing this interview.
Well, you are very, very welcome. Thank you for having me on your show. Very cool.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm looking forward to this, especially for the young wrestling fans that may not have been, that may not know what glory is, but we're definitely going to give them a history lesson. At least we'll try to.
And let's tell them that it's that GLOW stands for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, just in case, like you said, the young folk don't know, because if you are like 25 years and younger, and you don't have brothers and sisters or family, mom and dad that watch wrestling, then maybe you've never heard of that before. So, we have to explain it to the young kids, just in case. And
Yeah.
that show was women's wrestling, and what we did is we put comedy sketches with wrestling into a variety show. So that's kind of what we did back in the late 80s. I think I started training in 1985. At the end of 85, my trainer was Mondo Guerrero, and which is comes from an awesome family of wrestlers. And he trained me and some other girls, and we went and we did the pilot. We sold that. We made a pilot, and then we sold that pilot to TV. And then we started, the year after, I moved to Vegas, and we started shooting the shows out of the Riviera Hotel for a couple of years, and then, or seasons, and then seasons 3 and 4, we moved that facility. We moved us out to more of a warehouse, and we did that outside of the casino. And then we continued to tape all those matches out there. And we were syndicated all over the United States and Europe. And then, unfortunately, some things come to an end. And that was one of the shows that, and that it came to an end. But you know what, though? I love the sport so much that I kept doing it. And even though I didn't work, for WWE, they did come to my hometown in Los Angeles. And when they came to my hometown in L.A., I had broken my leg. I broke my leg in November of 1998. And they came about 2 or 3 months later. They came to Los Angeles, and I went down to the interview, but I was limping so badly, and my right leg was so atrophied. It was pretty skinny, but, I went there, and, I told the truth of what went on with my leg, and I don't think people want injured people. So, there's that. So right now I have 7 screws and 2 plates in the right leg, but you know what? That didn't stop me. I still continued to wrestle. I just was a lot more careful than I was back in the day.
And you was part of a tag team known as Hollywood and Vine back
I was.
then.
I played the character Hollywood, and then Vine was my partner, and we were tag team, and Vine and I wrestled on the first and second season together. And then towards the end of the second season, Vine left our show, and then I was able to tag team and do more singles matches by myself, which was great because I had the opportunity to do some solo wrestling as well. And then, we toured everywhere. It was an awesome show. And I don't know if you're familiar with the documentary that's been hitting different film festivals. That's very, very cool. So if any of these, new people get a chance, the funny thing is, it's the next showing. I know there's one in Los Angeles, August 21st, There's going to be another one in Alabama. I'm going to go to the one in California. I'm going to go to the one in Alabama in Birmingham. That one is, I believe, August 25th on a Sunday, and they'll show that film festival there in Birmingham. And then there's Chicago. Chicago's coming up too, and I think the Chicago date, I'm not quite sure. It's somewhere in the middle of September. Not sure if I'm going to that one, but the documentary that these three guys did of the Glow Girls is incredibly done well. We were rated 5 body slams out of 5 in pro wrestling. Is it Illustrated? Kenny, is that it?
I think that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, up on page 6. And they did a whole review of that documentary, and they liked it. So, yeah, I'm looking at it right now because I bought the magazine. It's Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It has, I think it's the August, if not the September one. Let me look at it. It's September, the September issue. And it says, "What the Brock" on the front of it. So on page 6, they rated it. They liked it a lot. So that was produced by Jason Connell. And what the documentary does is it tracked down a bunch of the Glow Girls. It has Tina Ferrari, best known as Ivory for WWE, Matilda the Hun, myself, Little Egypt, the Farmer's Daughter, lots of the girls that are in there, and it tells a little behind-the-scenes story, of our show.
All right. For those who just
so that's it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
No, you can. I'll answer some of your questions if you want. I was just telling you a little bit about the documentary.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that it was ahead of its time, and I think it kind of was. If you think about that, the kids can go on YouTube, and you guys can check out some of that. But I wanted to tell you on this documentary, it is showing in some of these different cities, but eventually, and it will. I'm thinking it may air on TV, but I know for darn sure that definitely the DVD will be out, and that's just something I think that everyone should have on their bookshelf or DVD shelf. We did some commentary on it, myself, Little Egypt, and Matilda Hun, with Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. He's interviewing us, and we did some commentary while we were, watching the movie. So, you're going to get a little bit more inside stuff or extras that they'll have on that DVD when you do get it. But it was the story that they portray is done well, really, really well.
I haven't had a chance to see it as well, but I guess I'm going to wait until it comes out on DVD. I'm definitely looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah,
to
that would be good, because then you're going to get some extras that won't be in the movie. You'll get that commentary that will be added. And who knows what else they'll have on it as well. But, those guys, they did a really, really beautiful story on it. And they also had some, they talked about Mountain Fiji. We had this Little Egypt organized a reunion, and Little Egypt was one of the girls in our first season, and she was injured, a bad knee injury, and she didn't come back for wrestling. But she got interested in Glow, and she decided to put on a little reunion and in Los Angeles. And we had Mountain Fiji as the guest of honor there. And they talk a little bit about, Emily Dole. And it was just really neat. I think this story has a lot of ups. It has the downs, the training, our director, who was constantly yelling at all of us. But you know what? I think when you have to direct that many women or girls, you've got to somehow have to show some kind of, you have to have order. You know, so we had lots of rules, but you know what? I hated those rules. I hated them, and you know, that's because I was young, and I wanted to break them. And boy, did I get in a lot of trouble for doing just that. You know, now these days I just go with the flow. Don't make any hassle. No one needs to. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
You know, you're a brat when you're young. When you're 21 years old, 22, you're on the road and you're doing stuff, and you know, you've got these people going, you can't do this. You have to be in at 12. No drinking. No this. No that. You can't have guys in your room. I mean, it's just, there was just so many rules, and I followed most of them for the most, you know. But there was a couple things that I did that, you know, pissed them off. We were in San Diego one time, and we were doing a show out there, and before our director and everybody got down there, I wanted to go into Tijuana. I'm like, you guys, I'm saying to like Daisy and Godiva, I'm like, let's go down to Tijuana, you guys. And I wanted to go buy some. At the time, it was the late 80s, and I was wearing these cowboy boots, and I wanted tips for these boots. You know, I wanted them to be real rock and roll, so I wanted to go down there and get silver tips for my boots. So anyway, the director comes back in, and he's like, okay, everybody, and especially you, Hollywood, nobody goes down to Tijuana tonight. And I'm like, oh no. So we got done with our meeting. I looked at the girls, and they're like, I go, come on, you guys, let's go. And they looked at me, and they're like, we can't go. I'm like, yeah, we can go. They're like, they told us not to go. And I'm like, you guys, we decided before they made the rules that we were going to go. So since we decided before they told us we weren't going to go, we can go. And we all went down there. And when we came back, we got so busted. You know, that's just little tiny things that happened. And like I said, when you're young, you hate to follow rules. But again, it's for safety. I can imagine if we all got thrown in jail, you know, we would be screwing up the show for the next day. So, we were bad. We were bad kids.
It definitely must have felt good to at least go through that documentary, take a trip down memory lane, and reminisce what it was, and
exactly.
You know, it's always
cool.
It's always good to look back. It's always good to reflect. For those who are just tuning in, this is Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, and I'm proud and I'm honored to be joined with the one and only Hollywood from Glow. Everybody be on the lookout for that documentary. If you are anywhere near the California, Alabama, and Illinois areas, and if you're nowhere near those areas, be on the lookout for the DVD, hopefully coming soon, maybe later this year. But it's definitely worth the watch if you are a woman wrestling fan, or just a wrestling fan in general. Just be on the lookout for it. And as we get into the as we talk so much about the past, let's talk about the present. What are you doing these days, and what you have coming up?
You know what? I've been wrestling since the Glow days. I have my own company called Hollywood Productions. I'm always wrestling in California. I'll go to different places, work for other companies all the time. A book, I have that coming out. And you know what the thing is, I've been working on it. And I know I've been telling people this, but it just takes a long time to get that together. So I'm trying to give myself, every morning I'm supposed to get up and work an hour on it. And I'm really trying very hard, but that's a biography that I have coming out. We'll say next year. It's definitely not going to be this year, but I'm working on that. And so, we have our Facebooks, and Hollywood. I have an official Hollywood Facebook, like you guys have Triple Threat Wrestling Radio Show is yours. You guys can find me probably there. I liked you today, young man, so everyone should like Triple Threat Wrestling Radio Show. And then there's Twitter. The Twitter account is Glow, Glow Hollywood. So you can always, find me there. And I'm moving back and forth. I'm in Tennessee part-time, and I'm in Los Angeles part-time. Everyone asks, did you move, Hollywood? Did you move? I'm in both places. I've been coming back and forth for about 8 years. So I got a little bit of the Midwest in me and a little bit of the West Coast.
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate the high praise from you. Everybody go like Hollywood. It should be a love when it comes to you. And follow her on Twitter. And again, be on the lookout for that Glow documentary. It's
Absolutely.
definitely be on the lookout for it. Now, I'm a huge fan of Magnificent Ladies Wrestling, and for what I hear, you recently made your debut there. What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome, let me tell you. Magnificent Ladies of Wrestling, great people, very, very, very cool people. I went down there, let's see, that was about, 3 weeks ago. Let me tell you, those ladies, those girls can wrestle. They know their stuff. They're very young. They reminded me of me when I started out, really young. They're strong. And, the thing is, they love what they do. I talked to one girl, I'm trying to remember her name right now. She said, Hollywood, when I was 5, I knew I wanted to be a wrestler. So there's dedication there with those girls. Very, very cool people there. It's funny because I was talking with one of the owners this evening. He goes, "What dates can we have you coming back?" So that's always good to hear. Their girls, they had probably, I don't know how many girls. I don't know if there was like 15 or 20. There's Brittany Brown, who I met a long, long time ago, who was wrestling. There was Miss Dyslexia. That's who it was. It was Miss Dyslexia who said, I want to be a wrestler. When I was 5, I knew it. There was Barbie Hayden was there. I wrestled against April Hunter. It was awesome. Awesome.
And
I had fun there.
And you all can purchase downloads of Hollywood's matches over at magnificentladieswrestling.com.
Absolutely. I did 3 over there for them, actually. It was one was April Hunter, one was Nikki Lane, and then Miss Dyslexia. So I look forward to going back, and they have a wonderful ring out there and a good crew of people. Great people to work with. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you being a legend in this business, and you've been in this business for a long time, and
long time, 25 years to be exact.
And you still look great, by the way.
Well, you're very kind, and you know what I think goes with that? When you're an athlete, you always want to look your best. And I don't care how old you get, you just don't want to lose that. And that's me. I always want to look good, feel good. Going to bed early, I try to do that. I try not to, I drink, yes, but I don't drink a lot. I drink here and there. I exercise. I've been doing that for years, and I think when you watch what you eat and you partake a little bit, and you're just good to your body and yourself, that shows within. And you know what? If you love what you do, I think that shines right through. But may I say one thing to young people: always have something else to fall back on. You know what I mean? Don't wait till you're 50 or whatever, 40, and you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Go to school. This could be this could be your first love if you want, but always have something else to fall back on. That's just a tip to young kids. And I remember when I was young, I didn't want nobody telling me what to do, how to do it. I thought I knew it all. But you know what? Going to school is good. And I did go back to school. I didn't do it when I was young, but I went back to school. I'm a nerd. I'm a total nerd. I love computers, and I'm loving editing. It's one thing that I love to do. All the stuff that we film for my company, I take it right in onto my Mac. I get to edit it, and that's very fun stuff.
And everybody check out her website, Hollywood Productions. Check out the many a video she's worked on. And what I also like about you, Hollywood, is you watch the Chuck Taylors. You watch
I what, honey?
the Chuck Taylors, the shoes you wear.
Oh, my Chucks. I love those.
Yes.
Yeah, I love my Chucks. Absolutely. Mine are a little blingy. I got a couple different ones that have some bling on them, but oh, heck yeah. I love Chuck Taylors. Those are the best. Sometimes when I'm in the airport, I just put those on in the airport and go off on those. And I get people looking at my shoes sometimes because I have them studded, you know, like my Chucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, wow. Of course, those can't go through security. They've got to go right up on top, or they would beep. But yeah, are you a connoisseur of Chuck Taylors?
Yeah, I have 3 pairs.
I got quite a few. I have favorites, but I have a rainbow of those, and I love the ones, the knee-high ones that come up right before the knee. Oh, those are bad.
Classic shoes, way ahead of its time.
Absolutely, huh? Jeez.
And it's good to see that they still selling them to those days. It just brings back to my childhood.
Yeah, that's something that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Well, Miss Hollywood, as I said, it is an honor to interview you, and I thank you for your time. And before I let
Anytime.
before I let you go, I ask all guests to do this. It's like a station ID. It's like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name, and right after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Okay.
And go right ahead.
Can I do it now?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. It's Hollywood, and you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio Show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the time, and best of success goes out to you, and keep doing what you've been doing. Again, everybody, check out the Glow documentary. It's coming. DVD, or if you're in Alabama, Illinois, and California areas, go check it out in person. Get a glimpse of Hollywood back in her heyday.
Right. Well, thanks for having me on.
And we definitely got to do a follow-up, most
Oh,
definitely.
of course, absolutely. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
You have a good night.
You have a good night yourself. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Hollywood joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.